If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that we've been delving into Copilot to help you understand what it's capable of and how to implement it in your business. Today, we're going to get into 15 real-world tips that will add time to your day, which is probably the most valuable commodity you have if you're anything like me. These are about how to get Copilot working for you across Chat, Outlook, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And while some of the tips do require the paid edition, many of them are available and free. And I'll clearly let you know if you need the paid version for any one of these tips. This is going to be a bit of a longer video though, so feel free to use the chapter markers down in the description to bounce around if you need to. All right, so the first tip that we have is how to switch between modes. And you can see there is an auto mode here up in the top right-hand corner. There is a quick response and a think deeper. We're going to do the quick response to start with, and I've got a prompt all ready to go here, and hopefully this demo will work because I did do a quick response a moment ago and it took a little bit. So in one short paragraph, explain the differences between gross margin and net margin for a new business owner. Keep the vibe friendly like a Ted Lasso pep talk, and end with one practical tip. And Copilot is going to go and give us a quick answer. Now in the think deeper section, I've got a different prompt, and that prompt is we're going to get it to do a little bit more of like a strategic coach. In the ChatGPT 5.2 model that is now in use in Azure Copilot, Azure OpenAI is what they call it. The think deeper is very good strategically. So we're going to do a different here. I've got a different prompt set up for this. Act as my strategic coach, build a 90-day plan to reduce the customer churn by 15% at a 50-person software as a service company. Include milestones, owners, simple metrics, and likely risks, right with the calm confidence of Gandalf guiding the fellowship. And this one's going to take a little bit longer, so we'll cut to when it comes back. But when it does come back, it's going to be a much deeper analytical answer. You can see here that it is going through and crafting a plan. It's doing a much deeper dive into reasoning here. Okay, so that took about 35 seconds and it came back with a 90-day plan for us here. So you can see that there's a very different use case for both the quick and the deep thinking models. But what I do is I typically just leave it on auto. You will also notice that in this menu here, you can change, you can see that we're in the 5.2 GPT model. So tip number 2 is putting in custom instructions into Copilot that will be consistent throughout your experience with it. And so if you go to the top right corner here to the ellipses menu and down to settings, you'll open up this window and you can go to personalization, and you'll see there's a spot here for custom instructions. So I'm going to open this up. You can use these kind of shortcuts here to give honest feedback. I've also got a bunch of instructions that I've already put on the clipboard here. So I'm going to paste these in, and you'll see that I'm saying I want friendly, concise, executive ready, short paragraphs, light references to Star Wars, plain language, pros and cons, don't use M dashes. I didn't use them before AI and don't plan on using them now. And AI has this tendency of doing these like, well, not this, but that comparisons. I don't like those. And I also wanted to respond in the voice of Yoda from Star Wars. So we'll save those. And then let's say, give me a breakdown of the Star Wars trilogy, both the initial and second. And what should happen here is that it's going to give me a breakdown, but it's going to do it in the voice of Yoda. So I'm really excited to see if that works. Clear breakdown of the 2 trilogies you seek? In simple language I give. Enjoy it, you will. So you can see you can give Copilot clear instructions that it will use. Now, this would affect Copilot across the entire instance, my whole use case of it. So I am going to remove that Yoda thing. But now you can see how you can get custom instructions in there. Tip number 3 is automated recurring tasks. So there's a couple ways you can actually do this. The first way is you can just create a prompt and you can say, I'm going to summarize my inbox since Friday at 5 p.m., group by projects, flag items from executives, and list the top 5 replies I should send first. So let's create that prompt. Okay, so you can see that this prompt has run. It took about a minute and a half to go through all that stuff, and it has created the entire reply and it's done everything I asked it to do. Now, let's say I wanted this to run every Monday morning. I could schedule this prompt to run. We're only going to run it on Mondays, and we're going to run it like, let's call it 8 a.m. And it starts this week every Monday, and we're going to run 15 times. Let's see. So we can save this, and now this prompt will run every Monday morning as I come into the office, which will be great. All right, tip number 4 is what they call grounding files into your chats with Copilot. So you can actually have Copilot look at documents, and there's a bunch of different ways to do that. So let's go through. So one of the ways you can do is you can add work content. This will open up this kind of browser, which is looking at your SharePoint and anything in your OneDrive and stuff. You can add people to a chat. You can add files that are directly here, meetings, notes, if you've been taking those, emails directly. So you can do that. You can also upload images and files directly. So if you've got a prompt that is too long or data that's too long for a chat with Copilot, you can put it in a Word document and then upload that. And the other way you can do it is you can go attach cloud files. This will take you to a kind of a SharePoint browser here where you can go through and choose whatever it is you're looking for this way. And finally, my favorite way of doing this is you can go do things like this. Analyze this file for content and give me any insights you glean from it. So I know of a document that I have, and what I can do is I just know that that this document is in SharePoint somewhere. So I can just hit / here, and I can start typing. And I'm going to do / Q3, and I'm going to look at this Burnaby office market report that got sent to me from a realtor here, and we're going to get some insights from it. So you can just, hit tab to, once you've kind of found it, you can click it or hit tab, and it will fill in the rest of the thing. And then away you go. It's going to look at that report and give us some insights. So we'll give it a second here. Here's a clear insight here. So it's gone ahead and read that directly from SharePoint. This is, as I said, a paid version, but it's gone ahead and done exactly what we asked it to do and given me insights. Basically, just by typing / and then doing a search, you can add anything to your chat. All right, tip 5 is one that I'm a little bit ambivalent about. I'm not sure how I feel about the ability to do this, but it's available in Copilot, and so I'm going to go through it. It's creating AI-generated videos. So on your Copilot screen, I am going to go over to Create, and you'll see Create Video is one of the options here. I've already got a prompt set up. So I'm going to draft a 60-second onboarding video script for new store managers. 3 scenes: hook, how we win, and day 1 checklist. Tone, part movie office space, part Apple product demo, and let's hit create. All right, that took about a minute to generate that video. It's 41 seconds long. Let's take a look.
Imagine walking in on your first day. Fluorescent lights, that hum of possibility, and maybe, just maybe, the sacred coffee machine finally works. Welcome aboard. This is not just another office gig. Ready to kick things off? Here's your day 1 checklist. 1. Meet your crew. Say hi, learn their names, set the vibe. 2. Tour your store. Get familiar with your layout, systems, and the break room snacks. 3. Review today's goals. Check your opening numbers, set priorities, and share the plan with your team. You've got this. Welcome to the winning side.
So, built in under a minute. I'm having a hard time, like the hands look good. I'm having a hard time discerning necessarily, but do with it what you will. I'm not going to say whether you should or shouldn't use it. It's just, it's available, and there you go. Okay, the next few tips are going to be about Outlook and the inbox, but before we move over, there's one little bonus tip. We'll call this tip 5.5. If you want to see more, there is a prompt gallery here. So if you expand that little list here, you can click Prompt Gallery, and you can choose various things that you're trying to do: optimize, code, analyze, prepare. You can choose the job type you're talking about, the agent that you're going to use. And you'll see that there are hundreds of kind of gallery prompts here, prompts that will get you maybe a little bit further down the road in learning what you can do with Copilot. All right, moving over to Outlook. We've already seen how Copilot can go and parse your entire inbox by looking at things that you maybe need to react on right away when we did our scheduled tasks. But you can also, I've got Lance here, and I'm going to pick on Lance. And Lance has his own YouTube channel that you should go check out if you're interested in the deeper dive of what a network admin does. But I love Lance. He writes very, very detailed emails, as you can see here. And sometimes I'm a busy little bee that doesn't do as much tech as I used to do. Sometimes getting a summary from Copilot, very useful. You can use Copilot to summarize any email in your mailbox. Now, there's another one that he did here that I really like. Thoughts on education. Let's get this one to summary here. He summarized the current educational reimbursement policy. So this is a really useful tool if you've got that person in your life that likes to write you very detailed emails that sometimes you need the Coles notes on. Sorry, Lance. Tip number 7 is you can put in custom email drafting instructions. This is a premium feature, similar to how we put in custom instructions into Copilot in general. You can do it specifically for Outlook drafting emails for you. And so if I click over here on the Copilot button, go to settings, go to draft instructions, I can use some custom instructions here. Now I've already done some up. So subject line is going to be action, topic, date, opening 1 sentence, context, 3 bullets max, voice is sarcastic, optimistic, and no jargon. Close 1 clear ask with a due date in the tone of Bill Lumbergh from Office Space, and the signature is thanks. So we're going to save those. And now if I close this off and I do a new email, I'm going to draft in Copilot. Let's write an email to Stefan. And I have not given Stefan any notice that this is coming. Let's draft, talk to me about the TPS reports. What's happening with them and why are they taking forever? So now Copilot is going to write up an email. Just a quick pulse check on the TPS reports. Yep, those ones. They're dragging on longer than a dental appointment with no anesthesia. Nobody seems to know who's holding the flaming baton, and the updated workflow is apparently like a myth like Bigfoot. So what's happening with them? Why are they taking forever? I'd love to get this sorted out before it turns into another legendary process saga. So we're going to keep that. Perfect. Let's send it because I haven't told them that it's coming, but let's send it anyway. So you can see, you can get Outlook to draft emails for you in a very specific way, and I'm going to go ahead and delete those instructions now. Okay, tip number 8 is we're going to get Excel to use agent mode. If you're like me and you've been trying to get Copilot to work inside of Excel, the application, and have had no success, it'll tell you what to do but not do anything for you. The only way this works at the moment is to use the browser-based version of Excel. So that's what we're going to use. So I'm using Microsoft Edge, and over here we're going to click the Copilot button, and then we're going to click the Tools button here, and we're going to select Agent Mode, which allows direct edits to your workbook. And once we've done that, I've already got a prompt ready to go. Create a dashboard sheet with slicers for region, product, blah, 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 blah. This is a big complicated prompt, and I've told it to use all made up data. I'm going to hit go on this, and it's going to take a little while to go. So this will be the beginning. I'll cut and come back to it once it's done. Okay, our Excel spreadsheet is done. It has created a table with a whole bunch of nonsense data, really, that it's made up on the spot, and it has taken that data and created an executive summary dashboard that we can use, and we can now summarize by east, north, south. We can talk about product alpha, beta, delta. So you can see it's very good at doing this sort of thing once you get it going, but it does take some time. Okay, tip number 9 is the Copilot function. Now, I wanted to do a real-time demonstration of this for you, and I was really hoping by the time I recorded this that even being on the beta channel as I am, that this feature was going to be available to me in Excel, but it's not yet. So they're rolling it out slowly. But what it does is essentially allow you to use the equal sign in a cell and then Copilot bracket, the same way you would any function if you're an Excel junkie. And do the first part of that bracket would be a prompt, and the second part is the cell that you're looking at. And it will do things like, I had an idea that I was going to have it look at the average sales on a table of sales and for the whole column. And if the month that I was looking at was good, then it would give a thumbs up. And if it was in the cell that I was on, long story short, Copilot function is coming. It's not yet available where I'm at least in Canada, but coming very soon. You can read about it. I'll put a link to it in the description for this page that describes what's coming for the Copilot function. Tip number 10 is that you can get Copilot to create entire decks for you automatically. So you can open up PowerPoint, and by clicking on this little button right here, you can say create a new presentation. I've got a prompt already for this, so we'll create a 10 slide presentation, growth plan, audiences, the board, include thesis, makeshift market growth bets, and use clean modern styling, sprinkling in Ocean's 11 energy for momentum, and use all corporate imagery and made up data. And so we'll hit go on that. That'll take a minute or two, and when it's done, we'll come back. You'll see that it'll come up and it'll ask us what presentation style we want. So let's use Modern Serenity, and we'll generate the slides. Okay, our deck is done. So you can see it's created a full deck here with the growth plan, strategic bets for boardroom breakthroughs, innovative shape, search engine, digital strategy, the whole thing. We got pictures of people, pictures of telephones. I'm not really sure what it's going for here, but yeah, all of these things are available to it, and it's created the deck for us from scratch. Tip number 11 is a new feature they've added to PowerPoint, which is in-app automatic AI image editing. So let's go to this tab here. Let's go to this slide here, and we're going to choose this picture, and let's make this bigger. We're going to choose that picture, and we're going to go to picture format, and then under picture format here, and this is only available on the Insider program at the moment. So this is Microsoft 365 Insider program, beta version essentially. And if you click edit picture, it's going to bring up the AI tools here, and I can select this, and I can go remove background. And we've done our best to remove the background. So now we can hit update. And I don't know, I will say there's some strange thing that happens when you get Copilot to create a slide deck for you, which is that it just uses the template that you give it with the images that are in it. It doesn't take them out before it overlays other images on top. So when I remove the background here, we got this nice guy right here that's just smiling through. But as you can see, there are, if you want to do some quick image editing on the fly, you can now do that within PowerPoint. All right, tip number 12 is agent mode in Word. Now, similar to agent mode in Excel, I found that I have to be using the browser-based version of this. So I'm back in Microsoft Edge, and if I click on Copilot here again, I can click on Tools here and go to Agent Mode to let it do what I want it to do right within the document, as opposed to having to go external. So we're going to do a new prompt that I've already got saved over here, and it is ready to go right there. So draft a 2-page client proposal with sections for context, problem, approach, timeline, investment, next step, keep it clear, and executive ready. Add a subtle Star Trek nod in the open line without distracting from the message. This generally doesn't take as long as Excel. The Excel prompt took some time because of all the complicated things with merging cells and formulas and all that sort of stuff. But this sort of stuff is pretty straightforward and simple as far as Copilot is concerned. You can see it's already drafting our client proposal with tables and all that sort of fancy jazz. It's using our theme that we've got in place already. There we go. So all done. So there you go. There's tip number 12, using agent mode in Word. All right, tip number 13 is to draft and edit documents with Copilot. Now, I can come in here and just select draft right at the top of the page when you open. So we're going to write a 1-page partnership proposal to a mid-market retailer. Goal is to pilot across 10 locations. Tone optimistic, practical, little Parks and Rec energy here, and include a simple ROI table. So we're going to get it to draft that. And then when it's done drafting here, it should be pretty quick. It's going to get us to give us an option to, let's see here for this Parks and Rec thing. Let's go with a little more Ron energy and a little less Leslie energy from Parks and Rec. And let's include our experience as a broccoli farmer here. So you can see it's now not big on fluff. It believes in action, results, and mutual benefit. And it is gone ahead and done some stuff here. It's also talked a little about tending broccoli fields. So you can use this. You can keep kind of drafting with this. Okay, tips number 14 and 15 are going to come in quick succession. We're back over in Teams, and tip number 14 is that you can get access to Copilot right within Teams. If you're someone like me that works in Teams all day, every day, you can find it in your apps selection here and add it to the sidebar here and pin it like I've done. And tip number 15, and this is a paid version, you'll see that I'm showing the work and web here. Work is paid version. You'll only see this if you have the paid version. This is the one that can actually access SharePoint and all your documents in your tenant. And web is the one that is just the Copilot chat. It's free. So in the paid version, you can actually go into more agents here and you can adjust and work on Microsoft 365 admin. So you can do things like, how many licenses of Copilot do I have available? And if you hit enter, you'll see the Microsoft 365 admin agent will allow you to work right on your tenancy. So there's the breakdown. We have 10 Copilot licenses, 9 assigned. We have 1 available. These are virtual studio. This is Copilot Studio hours, essentially CPU hours. But you can also go ahead and like assign this license to somebody here. What we're trying to do here is give you everything you need to get the most out of your Copilot license. In our experience, recovering your investment in Copilot is pretty easy from a time-saving perspective, and hopefully these 15 tips will let you leave 15 minutes early today. In this ever-changing IT landscape, be adaptive. We'll see you next time.